Hi there, these comments are for AA. I'm just using your initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for your online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you just completed integrated speaking practice test number 1. So what I want to do now is to listen to your response.
According to the passage at the talk, advertisements could affect people behavior and the economy by several aspects.
You're having some trouble here. You're having some problems structuring your ideas. Your grammar's not quite right. So you might say something like this. The reading and the listening passage discuss the political and the economic effects of advertising.
For example, when people watch or hear the advertisement.
Now, where is this coming from? When you give the example, you have to say something like according to the reading passage or according to the listening passage. So it needs to be clear where this information comes from.
And then they see the product which was advertised. They pick it up immediately as they know it before. In contrast, it will not happen with the unadvertised product.
Now, where are you getting that from? There's nothing in there that's talking about contrasting advertised and unadvertised products. You're including information that's not part, I think, of the reading passage or the listening passage. And what about the reading passage anyway? The reading passage is discussing the political effects of advertising. You're not really addressing that.
Indeed, there are some people aware about how the advertisements work, but there are many don't.
Okay, so on this one, so let's take a look at the rubrics here for just a minute so I can give you a score. Okay, on this one, you got a lot of trouble. You're not going to score very high, I'll be honest with you. So one of your problems right now is it's with your topic development here. So the main thing is when you are explaining the ideas, you need to start off with a topic statement, something like this. The reading and the listening passage discuss the political and the economic effects of advertising. Then you'll say, according to the reading passage, advertising has political effects. Then you give one or two examples to support that. Then you might say, in addition, according to the listening passage, advertising has economic effects on the consumer. And then you give one or two examples there, and then you finish your response. So what you did, it wasn't really clear where anything was coming from, and you really didn't talk about the reading passage at all. So you're missing some pretty big points. So it wasn't very organized. So I recommend that you take a look at the speaking lesson number 7. That'll give you some good tips on how to more coherently organize your ideas. Now also, you have a lot of language use issues, problems with grammar. So you want to keep working in the grammar part of my course so you can develop a little bit better connection of ideas when you're creating your subjects and your verbs and so on. Pronunciation, you're speaking very slowly, kind of in broken English, so it's very tough to understand what you're saying. So you want to continue to improve your speaking fluency by studying the pronunciation lessons of my course. And little by little, you can get better. It's going to take time. I don't see you making any improvements in just 1 or 2 months here, but it may take you a little more than that. But you definitely can improve your speaking abilities of American English. All right, your score. The problem here is you're missing some pretty big points here. So I'm going to put you right now at about here 1.83 out of 4 or 14 points out of 30. If you take a look at the rubrics here, You have a lot of frequent pauses and hesitations. You are not providing relevant content, I think, to the task. So you have to do better when you do this second one. And the second one's going to be a little bit harder than this. Remember that you're trying to get ready for graduate studies. So you're trying to show me that you have the speaking abilities necessary at the graduate level. And in this practice test, you're not really showing me that. So, all right, let's take a look at your syllabus here for just a minute so I can tell you the grade. Okay, let's open this up. So in the syllabus, I also sent this to you by email. If you go to page 9, we can figure out what your grade will be on this particular assignment. So your score here is a 1.83 out of 4. That puts you at 65% on this assignment. All right? Anyway, thank you for completing this, and hopefully next time you'll be a little bit better. But remember, what you do in just 1 week doesn't make the difference. You want to consistently be completing the lessons in the grammar part of my course, in the pronunciation part of my course. That's going to really, really help you. And remember, find opportunities to use English as much as you can. This is very important. At night, watch TV, read the newspaper, and speak English as much as you can all day, every day.